Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Crowd Chatter Podcast. We are finally on the last video for today. So we're gonna now today. Finally, we're gonna go over the NFL draft classes. What every team got. What I think of it. I'm gonna grade the AFC first. Then I'm going to grade the NFC. So first, we start in the AFC. We're gonna start with the AFC East. And we're just gonna, because they're all in alphabetical order, they're not in order of division. So we're gonna go for the Buffalo Bills. You can see the team needs right here. And their first pick was a trade of which they got here. Elam, good corner. I like this pick by Buffalo. They also got James Cook, the good Georgia running back. Matt Ariza, they also got later Terrell Bernard, Baylor linebacker. And then you can see Boise State receiver, Christian Benford, Virginia Tech tackle, and then a linebacker from Clemson. Overall, solid, nice few picks. I mean, you got Kier Elam, good Florida corner, good Georgia running back. Could end up being a nice piece for you. Of course, that's Dalvin Cook's younger brother. And they also got the punt god. They also got Matt Ariza. I mean, that's an incredible punter. Guy from San Diego State was just awesome. So, I mean, we'll see how he turns out in the NFL, but he can end up being, I mean, it's a special teams player, but he was awesome for San Diego State. So, good overall, good overall selections by the Buffalo Bills. I give their class B plus. You know, you did a good job. Not bad overall. Solid picks. So next up, we have the New England Patriots. Where the heck well, yeah, let's do New England. We got the New England Patriots, and they're. We all know that Bill Belichick and company, they all do just whatever the heck they feel like doing. Their picks don't ever really make sense to anyone, but then when they do well, everyone's like, "Oh, okay." So they can be a little frustrating in the NFL draft. But the Patriots, they would take Cole Strange in the first round when they traded down with the Chiefs. Take Tyquan Thornton, who's a speed demon of a wide receiver from Baylor, but it was still taken pretty high. Marcus Jones, Jack Jones, Bailey Zappe, the Western Kentucky quarterback. That was a solid pick. You also got Pierre Strong Jr., Kevin Harris, Sam Roberts, Chasen Hines, and then Michigan guard Andrew Stuber. Their class, I'm not a big fan. There's just not really any great players in here. The Western Kentucky quarterback, he's a he's a decent player, but this class kind of just lacks really much great picks. I don't mind Tyquan Thornton and Bailey Zappe, but the rest of these picks just are not good. Marcus Jones is okay. I'm not a big fan of this class. I am doing A through F. F would be by far the worst. But I'm giving this probably, D plus. I mean, they have a couple decent picks. They have like two good picks, and that's it. But they never make sense to anyone anyways, so who knows? It might end up being like the best class in the draft. Then we have the Miami Dolphins, who they trade away pretty much most of their picks, as they traded most of them all away for Tyreek Hill. But they still had a third round pick of where they got Channing Tindall, a linebacker from Georgia. And then they also got Eric Izkama, the Texas Tech receiver, sure. And then they got Cameron Good and Skylar Thompson, Kansas State quarterback. Overall, with the picks that they had, not bad. You know, Channing Tindall, that's a good Georgia linebacker. Skylar Thompson was decent at Kansas State as a quarterback. Not bad. With the picks you had. You only had 4 picks. You traded most of them away to get Tyreek Hill, so we know where most of your draft capital went. But, not bad. you address one need in Channing Tindall, and he's a good linebacker from Georgia. I give it a B minus. You didn't have much to work with, so your grade isn't necessarily going to be great. But what you had, you did fine. So good job by the Miami Dolphins. Now we have this is among the best classes in this draft. We're gonna do the New York Jets. They had their first few picks here, the big four. You got Ahmad Gardner, everyone likes to call him Ahmad Sauce Gardner, Cincinnati corner. Garrett Wilson, wide receiver from Ohio State. Jermaine Johnson, defensive end, Florida State, got him incredibly late. They got Breece Hall, running back from Iowa State. Jeremy Ruckert from Ohio State, tight end. And then they had a two fourth round picks, Max Mitchell and Michael Clemens from Louisiana and Texas A&M. This is an A. Honestly, I'm gonna say A+. They got literally everything they could have asked for. You got Ahmad Gardner, good corner from Cincinnati. He's a good player. Wide receiver Garrett Wilson from Ohio State, very good player. You stole Jermaine Johnson late in the first round. You also got Breece Hall, a really good running back from Iowa State. I'm in love with this class by the Jets. Give these guys an A+. They did an incredible job. Unbelievable by really the Jets. I don't think you could have asked for a whole lot more from the Jets, especially a team that normally blows every pick. But now we go to the AFC North. We'll start at the beginning again. We have the Cincinnati Bengals coming up first. As the Bengals, I guess it's not going to do that. The Bengals, they got a nice steal late in the draft. As they, late in the first round, got Daxton Hill, Michigan safety. He's a good player. They also took Cam Taylor, Brett, safety, Nebraska. Zachary Carter, Cordell Volson, Tyson Anderson, and Jeffrey Gunter. I give this class a B+, just because of how of getting Daxton Hill. They addressed their offensive line needs. Corner, that's going to be Daxton Hill. He's more of a corner anyway. Good pick there by the Bengals. They addressed their two needs there. They got some corners. They got some secondary. Good job by the Bengals. Well done. Cleveland Browns. They traded away most of their draft capital as well, as they went and got the Deshaun Watsons. They didn't really have a pick until the third round where they had multiple third rounders. They got Martin Emerson, Mississippi State corner, Alex Wright, David Bell, wide receiver, Purdue's really good. Perion Winfrey, they stole in the fourth round, defensive tackle from Oklahoma. Also got Jerome Ford, running back Cincinnati, Cade York, LSU kicker. And then you got Michael Woods, Isaiah Thomas, and Dawson Denton. But this is a good class for the Browns. I give the Browns for this draft class. I'm giving the Browns. I'll give them a B+. That good draft class for the Browns. I give the Bengals. Did I say a B for the Bengals? I think I gave the Bengals a B. I'll give the Browns same thing. I'll give the Browns a B. Good draft class, good picks. Well done. Then also we have next I'm sorry, I skipped one. The Baltimore Ravens. This, I think it might be the best draft class out of all of them. I absolutely love the Ravens draft class. You steal Kyle Hamilton at 14. You steal Tyler Linderbaum at 25. You steal David Ojabo in the second round. You steal Travis Jones in the third. You take the just absolutely massive Minnesota offensive tackle. You get a good Daniel Falehe, or however, I don't know how you pronounce it. You get Jalen Namer Davis, good Alabama corner. You get Charlie Kohler, good Iowa State tight end. You get Jordan Stout, good Penn State punter. Isaiah Likely, tight end from Coastal Carolina. Corner from Houston, Demarion Williams, Tyler Beatty. You know, they did an incredible job in this class. Give the Ravens an A plus, and they also traded away. They did trade away Marquise Brown. Of course, he went to the Cardinals. I think this is an incredible draft class. I mean, they did not draft a receiver in this class, but I'm sure they'll go and sign somebody. So we'll see how that goes. They did not make Lamar Jackson happy with that trade at all, but they're going to go and get somebody. You know they're going to sign a free agent of some sort, whoever that is, a Jarvis Landry, an Odell Beckham Jr. They will get somebody. You can count on that. But give the Ravens an A plus. What a class for them. And then we have the Steelers, who we all know they were going to take quarterback, and that's exactly what they did. Then they went and got George Pickens, wide receiver from Georgia. He had a torn ACL as well. He was not necessary. He had a torn ACL for Georgia. He did not really play a lot last year, but he's a good receiver. DeMarvin Leal is a good defensive end from Texas A&M. Calvin Austin, good Memphis wide receiver. Connor Hayward, fullback from Michigan State. Mark Robinson, Ole Miss. And then Chris Oladokun from South Dakota State, another quarterback. I give the Steelers an A minus. You got your quarterback. That was the most important thing. You needed a quarterback. And then you got George Pickens, that's a good wide receiver. You bolstered a defensive end position with the Marvin Leal. You go get another wide receiver. Calvin Austin's a good wide receiver. Nice job by the Steelers. Once again, you addressed needs. You did exactly what you should have. You got good players, and you got your quarterback. That was the most important thing. You got the quarterback, and then you got some nice guys to surround him with, because you don't have Juju Smith-Schuster anymore. You get both Pickens and Austin. DeMarvin Leal is a nice pickup as well. I like this draft class for the Steelers. Give them a B. Or I'm sorry, give them an A minus. Good job. And next up, we're gonna have. Whoops, not Dallas. No, come on. All right, there we go. Next, we have the Houston Texans, of which had number 3 pick in the draft and took Derek Stingley. Cornerback of LSU. Little bit of a surprise, but he's still he's a really good corner. Keon Green, they got in the trade. They traded back 2 spots with the Philadelphia Eagles. Guard from Texas A&M. Jalen Petrie, safety from Baylor. John Mechie, receiver Alabama. Really good pick there. Christian Harris, really good linebacker from Alabama. Also a really good pick. Damon Pierce, Florida running back, good player. Thomas Booker, defensive tackle. Tegan Quitoriano. Okay, and then Austin Dulitus. I don't know how you pronounce that. But I love this draft class for the Texans. I give them an A. I'll give them an A plus, actually. Derek Stingley, great corner, good guard. You need the offensive line. You address that. You got Jalen Petrie, John Mechie, Christian Harris. What they did not address is defensive end, and that's the only disappointment I have. They got everything except for that defensive end spot. It's the only problem I have with this draft class. They did not get that very, very important defensive end. But you can always address that in free agency. Then we have the Indy Colts, who they trade away their first round pick, which was a sunk cost of the Carson Wentz trade. But they traded him away then to Washington, got a third round pick out of it. So well done. But they got Alec Pierce, wide receiver from Cincinnati. Jelani Woods, tight end from Virginia, who's absolutely huge. Pierce is pretty big too. Bernhard Raymond, tackle from Central Michigan. Nick Cross, safety, Maryland. I love that guy. Eric Johnson, defensive tackle, Missouri State. Andrew Ogletree, Curtis Brooks, and then Rodney Thomas II. Good draft class. I like Jelani Woods. He's a good tight end from Virginia. Alec Pierce, solid wide receiver. Bernhard Raymond, good Central Michigan tackle. Nick Cross is an awesome safety from Maryland. I wanted him to be a Lion, but that didn't happen. But good picks by the Colts. I give them an A minus in this. They didn't necessarily have a lot of picks to work with. I'll give them an A, actually. No, A minus. I'll give them an A minus. Good overall draft class. You made good picks. You addressed a couple needs. You did what you needed to. Good job by the Colts. And now we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who the number one overall pick was not Aiden Hutchinson. It was Trayvon Walker. And then they traded up. They redeemed themselves. They traded up. They got Devin Lloyd at number 27. They got Luke Fortner, Chad Muma, Snoop Gunner, Gregory Jr., and Monteric Brown. But their whole draft was kind of overshadowed by passing on Aiden Hutchinson, taking Trayvon Walker. I'm not the biggest fan of Trayvon Walker. I think he's a decent player. He's not Aiden Hutchinson. They picked the wrong guy. Now stealing Devin Lloyd later in the first round, trading up with the Bucks, is an awesome pick. I loved that trade. So I give the Jaguars B minus because I don't like the Walker pick, but I do love the Lloyd pick. And Chad Muma's still a decent linebacker. So I don't like the Walker pick, but you redeemed yourself in getting Devin Lloyd. So overall, good job. Ish. You missed one pick, but I think we can forgive you. Then we have the Tennessee Titans, of which made a really weird trade, of which everyone knows. If you weren't watching, they traded away A.J. Brown to the Philadelphia Eagles. Why? I really don't know. I can't answer that question. But the Titans then obviously needed a wide receiver, so they took Treylon Burks, who is good. And then they got Roger McCreary, Nicholas P.D. Freary, tackle from Ohio State. Malik Willis is a good pick. Hassan Haskins, I don't like him, but, okay. Chigo Zimi Okonkau. I'm probably major league butchered that. Kyle Phillips, wide receiver from UCLA. Theo Jackson, and then Chance Campbell. Okay. But the Titans, this is an okay class. It's kind of overshadowed by trading away A.J. Brown. I do like Treylon Burks. I give it a C+, just because by getting Treylon Burks, you had to give away A.J. Brown, which doesn't make sense to me. Your other picks aren't too bad, though. Roger McCreary, Malik Willis, Son Haskins. Those are all decent picks, but you gave away your best player, and that'll irritate anyone. And so I'm not the biggest fan of that part of the trade. Next, we have the last division in the AFC. First, we have the Denver Broncos, whose first pick was linebacker out of Oklahoma, Nick Bonito, Greg Dulcich, Damari Mathis, defensive. Here's the defensive end from Iowa, Iami Uwazurike. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna pronounce any of these right. Delarin Turner Yell, safety from Oklahoma. Montreal, Washington. Luke Wattenberg, Matt Henningsen, and Fayan Hicks. Hey, wow. This isn't the greatest class for Denver. We all know they really sold their future on Russell Wilson, and that's really all they did. I mean, they got a tight end from UC. They got Greg Dulcich, tight end from UCLA. That's gonna try and fill the Noah Fant hole at tight end. I guess I'll give him a B minus. I don't really know many of these names, so it's hard to really judge it. But they got that tight end. They got the tight end of which they were looking for, and they needed after that trade. So I'll give them a B minus because I really don't know the names. Kansas City Chiefs, they nailed this draft. They traded up with the New England Patriots for number 21, getting Trent McDuffie, corner from Washington. And then they sat on their other first round pick and got George Karlaftis. And then they also got Sky Moore, wide receiver, Western Michigan. Brian Cook, safety from Cincinnati. Leo Chenal, good linebacker from Wisconsin. Darian Kinnard. They also got Joshua Williams from Fayetteville State, Jalen Watson, Isaiah Pacho, and Nazi Johnson. But these top few picks, McDuffie, Karlaftis, Moore, Cook, Chenal, and then Darian Kinnard, those are all incredible draft picks. Unbelievable job by the Chiefs as they sat in George Karlaftis. That's going to be a really good defensive end. I give him an A. Maybe even an A plus. This is an incredible draft. I mean, it says it fills every need, but yeah, some of those picks were really late, so I don't really think that necessarily counts. But they got everything they were looking for. Unbelievable job by the Chiefs, especially after they basically traded away their best player. They needed something, they got it. Now you have the LA Chargers, of which they did a decent job too. They got Zion Johnson, good guard from Boston College, and then they got JT Woods, Isaiah Spiller, Otito Jamari Salaire, Sahir Taylor, Deanie Leonard, and then Xander Horvath. Sorry for butchering literally every name. I know I'm not getting any of those right. But the Chargers, I mean, not bad players per se. The only issue is right here. They didn't address hardly anything up here. They have needs, and they didn't get any of them, except for the guard. So, they need a defensive end. They did not get a defensive end. So for the Chargers, I just wish they would have addressed more needs. I'm going to give them a B minus because they kind of neglected the whole need part. Now we have the Vegas Raiders. We know they sold their future on getting Devontae Adams. So their picks, they got Zamir White, who's still a good running back from Georgia. Dylan Parham, good guard from Memphis. Except the guy who announced the pick had no idea what his name was, as he didn't even say anything right. As people literally had to say, it was Dylan Parham, a center from Memphis. As the guy said, he was a Mississippi. That was just hilarious. But overall, Vegas didn't really have a lot of picks. They worked with what they had. I give them a B. They still got a good running back from Georgia. That's a decent guard. Overall, not that bad. Overall, I like what the Raiders got. Really, their draft is more overshadowed by the fact that they got Devontae Adams. We all know that. But that's it for this part. We have gotten through the entire AFC. Next is the NFC, and then I'm done. So that's all I got for this video. Until next time, adios, everyone.